Hello and welcome to Lookout Explorers Camp. My name is Ariel and I'm one of the counselors that gets to spend time with you today. I'm so glad you could join us for this day full of activities. As you work toward earning your badges today, I have some awesome guides to share with you to help you work toward your goals. Now, these binoculars are an amazing tool, right? When you hold them backward, everything is this forced, small perspective, and it might seem far away and unreachable. But if you hold them correctly and make sure that they're fit to your eyes so you can see, everything seems so clear. Now, I have a question. This is the interactive part, and I'm so excited. Who here has big, scary, audacious goals for this year? Woo! Yes, I love this. Good, so many hands. Okay, now, are any of you brave enough and willing to share? Shout it out. I can call on you and just shout out what your goal is for this year, the big, scary, hairy, audacious goal.
Retire your husband.
Okay, I love it.
Star director.
Star director. Okay, over here. Director. Director. Fantastic. Anybody else want to share? Love that. Okay, wait, okay, now, side question. Who here is still pushing the next 3 days to earn this current incentive? Or the next level if you've already earned? Yay! Okay, good luck you guys. This is amazing. All right, so these goals are phenomenal. And this next question is not a trick question, and I want you to remove any judgment that you might feel when you hear this question. How many of you have a solid plan in place for these big, scary goals in your year? Do you have a solid plan in place? Okay, a couple hands. How many of you are just like super excited for the goal, but you're not quite sure where to start and how to get there? Yes, okay, so relatable. I think all of us have been in both positions, and I honestly usually relate to the latter question a little bit more because I'm like, okay, this is so great. We're gonna do all the things, I cannot wait, and you have this momentum and it starts building you up, but then you kind of get sidetracked by what somebody else is doing. It kind of pulls you back a little bit, right? It's this hamster wheel. Then you feel that momentum again. Maybe you're gonna make samples, but then, oh gosh, your office needs to be cleaned. And then you're gonna do something great, you're gonna go out and you're gonna meet new people, but you forgot to do your laundry, right? So all of these things, it's the momentum of being on that hamster wheel when sometimes we just need to be able to step off the wheel and move forward. So, how do you avoid just getting stuck in these productive feeling activities and work toward those IPAs, the income producing activities? How do you manage your time, your attention, and your productivity successfully getting off of that hamster wheel and having forward motion in your business? First of all, you mind your own business, right? Whatever somebody else is doing has no impact on what you're doing and how you can move forward in your business. Next thing you need to do is make a plan. But don't get stuck in trying to figure out this perfect plan and making all of the pieces fit together. Because what good is that going to do you? You're probably going to get stuck trying to make sure that everything is in place and everything lines up correctly, right? And you forget to just take action. And it sounds so simple, right? How many of you think, well, no, I can for sure take action. But then you forget to move. And you get caught up in watching how others are doing it, or in the paralyzing effects of analysis paralysis. And you just stop. You become stagnant. How can you find success? Here's how I make my plan. I set 90-day goals for myself. I take action, and then I rinse and repeat, and I rinse and repeat, and I teach my team to do the same thing. The 90-day goals are really wonderful, but I don't just stop at, okay, here's this big, broad 90-day goal. Because I'm somebody who needs smaller, bite-sized, actionable items. Because 90 days can sometimes seem like this fun dream in a cloud that sometimes floats away. And then again, you forget to take action, and you get stuck on that hamster wheel. So I break it down into 30-day chunks of realistic, achievable, the most impact on my business items. right? Things that I know that I can do. And so I have this file that I'm going to share with you guys, and I'll totally upload it into our Facebook group. And if you're not in there, make sure you get added into there, because I bet there's a lot of community. When you meet people today, you're going to be able to stay connected. But I'll also upload this into there. And I call it the 90-day goal challenge. So simple. So simple. All right, so the first page is the decision. So what does that mean? It's time to get clear on what you want. Because when you have that clear vision of your 90-day goal, you can then create the plan, right? So the first thing you're gonna do is write down the goal that you wish to achieve by day 90. Then, why do you want to achieve it? Not why does Jane over here work her business that way, and why is that a good goal for her, so I'm gonna do that too. Why do you want to achieve it? The next thing is, I want you to imagine you're at the end of the goal, the end of the 90 days, and you have achieved it. How do you feel? And I want you to really sit and think. Sometimes it gets uncomfortable to just sit with ourselves. Does your mind just go a million miles an hour? You're like, well, there's so many other things that I could be doing instead of just sitting here feeling unproductive. I know I have a hard time just sitting, right? Because the laundry needs to be done, samples need to be made. I could be talking to my husband and my kids. Sit with yourself, honor your time, and think about how you would feel reaching that goal of yours. And then, the final question on this page is, how will you need to change to become the person who has achieved that goal? Because you can't stay exactly where you are and achieve a big scary goal that you've never achieved before. You can't be stagnant and have growth at the same time. The next page is the plan. Take time to really think about what your plan needs to look like in order to make the outcome happen. And this is where I break it down into those 30-day segments, because 30 days is a much more achievable chunk of time to be able to make a smaller plan and work towards those things. So this is where you're going to brainstorm, start to finish what your plan needs to look like, the things that you're going to need to do, and what that first 30 days looks like. And you are not allowed to say, I don't know. Because you know. I don't know is an excuse and a story we tell ourselves. It's a cop-out that we give ourselves. You deserve more. Don't say, I don't know. And I don't tell you what to do much, right? Like, this is not, I'm not shooting on you. Just don't say, I don't know. All right, the next one is the fail plan. And you might be thinking, Ariel, you just told me to make a plan. Why am I going to plan to fail now? The point of the fail plan is to be clear on your 30 days, and it exists so that you can note any obstacles that are going to come up, because you know what your 30 days looks like. You know that you're going to have things coming up that you need to work with, around, through, to make your goal happen. So for example, January was the first 30 days of my current 90-day goal. I knew I was going to be gone to Mexico for a week. I knew that my daughter's birthday was happening and I was going to be out of pocket for a little bit. And I knew that we had a team retreat in front of this event this weekend. So I knew that those were 3 obstacles that I would need to make a plan and a strategy around so that I could find success in these 30 days. So make sure you list those out, obstacles, and how you're going to overcome them. Again, no, I don't know, because you know. I don't know why you're laughing. This next page is the daily actionable item checklist that you are going to do. So if you decide to use this strategy and you're going to print this out, you're going to have 90 of these, okay? The first thing that you're going to do with your day is list 3 priorities that you want to accomplish. And you're going to start them and finish them. How many of you make mile-long to-do lists? Nothing ever really gets done because, again, the laundry and the samples and the kids and all of the excuses because you're scattered, you're not focused, you're not spending your time intentionally. 3 things. If you have time for more after those 3 things are accomplished, awesome, get it. The next thing on here I'll talk about in just a moment is the 5x7 checklist. And then the final thing is the brain dump, your lessons learned after every day. You're gonna write down how you felt, what worked, what didn't work. So at the end of the day, you can kind of decompress and say, okay, tomorrow I know what didn't work today, I'm gonna move forward. And I'm going to remove judgment and shame from myself. so that I can move forward without guilt, without any sort of weight on your shoulders. Okay, so what the heck is the 5x7 checklist? I'm so glad you asked. The 5x7 checklist is adapted from a 5x5 checklist that I made for my team. Oh, you know what, we're gonna pause because I'm gonna caveat all of this as a way, this is based on growing your social networking business. So many of us run online, and this one is geared more toward network marketing and being an online presence. So that's what this is gonna focus on. And I want you to remember, as you're looking through this, you are not just Scentsy, right? I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I love Harry Potter so much. So that it's in the catalog is like so magical to me. I love plants. I love books. I love making sourdough. I love Scentsy products. That's who I am. One of my friends told me that when you scroll to somebody's 9 grid on Instagram, so you go to their profile and the first 9 photos that are there should give you a good indicator of who they are and what they like, and if you're gonna vibe with them. And I love that so much. Like, if it's an aesthetic that you're loving and you're like, you could be my new best friend, we're gonna do this. And they don't know it yet, but they'll become your new best friend. It's gonna be great. But you find people that you can connect with, and that encourages you to be your authentic self and share the things that you love because you are not just Scentsy. Okay, so this 5x5 checklist is 5 tasks, 5 days a week. It gives you those actionable items that you can use and check off to take steps to keep moving your business forward. The first one is make 1 post on Instagram or Facebook, whatever your preference is, and maybe it cross posts, so you've got like 2 boxes checked. That's awesome. And again, it's not just gonna be about Scentsy. It's gonna be about my amazing loaf of bread that I made this morning, and you can smell it through the picture, right? It's gonna be about the fact that I repurposed the fragrance flower jar to propagate some of my plants. So that kind of ties it in, right? But you're not just gonna post about Scentsy. Next thing is, make 1 offer every day. And what I mean by that is a big, bold, brave offer. Somebody you haven't reached out with in a while, say, hey, I remember you had your eye on this warmer. I'm placing an order. Can I add that to my next order for you? Or, I know your wish list is huge. Do you want to open up a shopping link or have a party? Or, can you see this fitting into your lifestyle? This Scentsy business? Do you see this adding value to your life? Because when your arrow's out and serving, these conversations are gonna come easy. And if it feels uncomfortable, that's good, right? You're not stagnant, you're growing, you're doing hard things. Making 1 offer every day is going to keep moving. You're gonna go forward. And I'm really excited for you. The next thing is following up with your customers. You know the kitschy saying, fortune is in the follow-up? That's not a lie. You're not bugging your customers. You're serving them. You're making sure that they are taken care of. And if you have a team, this also goes for that, making sure that they are taken care of. That they know that you're there for them if they need you. Following up is gold. Next one is posting your Instagram stories, make a reel, or go live. Stories are a great place to sell and serve. People want to see you, they want to get to know you, they want to hear your voice, and they want to see your face. So don't be afraid to show your face, because they're going to connect with you, right? And so the final one is make 5 to 10 new connections every day. Brand new people you've never talked with. And if I'm being completely honest, that's the one that my brain was telling me that this was going to be an impossible task for me. That's the hardest one because, oh my gosh, 5 to 10 new contacts every day. How am I going to do this? I might pee myself. No, thank you. Right? So maybe the 10 number is too daunting. Stick with 5. My strategy is, because I want to grow my Instagram network organically, I focus there. I maybe search hashtags that I'm using, like a book I'm reading, or sourdough starters, like how do you score bread properly because it's not turning out great. I search hashtags and I find people and I look at their 9 grid. Is this a vibe that's gonna work for me? Is there posts that drew me in going to continue happening? Can we have this natural organic conversation? I'm gonna follow you. Not only that, I'm going to engage and have conversation with you. And you know what? If you have that organic relationship that's built, they're likely going to follow you back, be engaged, and start to get to know you in your life, on your profile. And you're not doing it intentionally to, okay, I'm going to sneak into their DMs and talk about Scentsy. That is icky, and I would encourage you to never do that. Again, I'm not going to tell you what to do, except for saying I don't know, but don't do that. Keep a list, because unless you're like really good at remembering things, keep a list of who you've connected with so you can go back and keep building that connection, right? Okay, so the 5x7 checklist is part of the 90-day plan. But whatever plan you have, if you're like, man, that is gonna resonate with me, I am gonna try that, awesome. Or maybe that's daunting, that's a lot, it's a big commitment. Do you have big goals? Maybe this is for you. Or maybe you're just wondering, how the heck can I get more consistent in my everyday life? Try the 5x5 checklist for 30 days. It's 5 tasks, 5 days a week. Set aside the time, be intentional, be consistent, and you're gonna see those results start to compound. So whatever plan you make, stick to it, don't give up. And here's a gentle reminder. Again, I want you to remove the shame and the judgment and any feelings you might have about what results you are or not seeing. Because after the first 30 days, when you're ready to reevaluate, see how it went, and move on to the next, maybe you haven't seen any results. Don't give up. Maybe that next 30 days, so you've completed day 60, and you're like, well, I've seen a little bit of progress, but I really thought I would be up here. Don't give up. At the end of 90 days, maybe you haven't even hit your goal, but are you still seeing that little bit of progress? Don't give up. Because if you didn't hit your goal, adjust your timeline. Do it again. I told you that I do these, and I rinse and repeat. I take the action, rinse and repeat. I do it again and again. Because life happens, right? And if you're in the middle of the 90 days, and you do Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday really well, but Thursday you have an off day, and so like instead of making Thursday day 4, you're like, but Friday, I'm gonna scoot that to day 4. Your 90 days could go on forever if you keep doing that. Have a start and an end time. Because that is still data. You're human, life happens. Write down what happened that day that maybe you didn't accomplish your goals. Maybe you didn't complete your task or your checklist. And be okay with it. Know that you gave the best that you could that day and move on. So, I'm gonna get to the next page here. This uncomfortable silence is so good. Consistency and discipline in your business will compound. Please remember that. Don't wait for the next flash sale to work your business. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for the first of the month. We still have 3 whole days left of this month. 3.5. We've got time. Stay consistent, do your IPAs, be intentional, show up with your time, however much you have, and you're gonna see the results. You guys, adventure is out there. Who's ready to take action for their plan? Yes. Okay, we have time for like 2.5 questions, if you guys have any. Yes. Oh, Ariel Huggins? Probably. Follow me on Instagram, that's like a lot easier. Ariel Lincoln Scents, I think is my handle.
You're gonna have to spell it out.
I hope that was so helpful. Yeah.
You said make 3 priorities a day.
Yes.
Does that include the 5x7, or
No.
is that okay? So what are the
That's
priorities?
a good question.
What are the
Priorities, what do you want to do today? Okay, like, so I send a weekly email out to the team. That would be a priority for whatever day that is.
Okay.
I need to make a post about something very specific. Just 3 things that are on your list you need to get done. I need to get this out in the mail. And then the 5x7 is totally separate. And maybe the other things will come up and populate to-do lists for the next day because you've done the follow-ups or the reels or whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, half question? Just kidding, full question. How do I track my new leads? should put that on my to-do list. I mean, most things just the organic conversation, and I'll like open up a notes in my phone and just write down, okay, here's who I talked with, here's how I need to follow up. And it's literally like a pen and paper, or if I don't have pen and paper, it's on my phone if I'm on the go. I am a little disorganized with that, but I am taking the action, and I'm not making sure it's perfect. I had to let that go. You know, sometimes you just have to let it go. The Elsa. Yes, let it go. All right, any other questions? No? Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. What? Oh, what? I'm sorry, there's one more question.
Question for anybody that knows. For follow-ups, does the AMI app exist anymore?
No. It does not, but stay tuned for cool things.
Okay. Thank you.
And get your pen and paper out, you know. Whatever you're gonna do, just do something, right? Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Take action. Be adventureful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate her so much personally. We were sitting together in the lobby in Mexico recently, and I just value so much. She gave some really great insight into another consultant who was struggling with something. There's so much to learn in this room.